We are told in Scripture that we have an enemy that seeks to devour us and that we are to be alert. In the book of 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8, we are told that we are in a war. The book of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10 says, and that we're to be strong because there's a real enemy. We're told to keep our eyes open and pray, right? Why? Because temptation is everywhere. Don't let these tests in my life become temptation. And you expect it. And when you expect temptation, you don't rename it. We don't even know we're being tempted. We just rename things. We go, man, my spouse is crazy. Man, my boss is Satan. Right? You know what you've done? You've gone from test to temptation with your very words or your thoughts. Because your crazy spouse, your words, not mine, and your difficult work situation is a test from God to build your character. Don't let it be a temptation to ruin your character. See, these are not irritations, annoyances, frustrations that have randomly come to you from the universe. These are tests to build your character that come specifically from a very real, a very living, and a very personal Father. So don't rename those. Understand them for what they are. When you rename them, you're done. When you're focused on your circumstance or the person and not God, you're done. You're in temptation. You're into sin. Don't let these tests become temptation. You expect temptation. You're not shocked by it, right? Here's why I think we're shocked. Because we really believe God owes us a low-maintenance, hassle-free life. Because we're Americans. And we were told the whole time growing up how special we were, what a unique snowflake we were. We got trophies whether we won or lost. So we're just set up to just be wonderful. And when our life is jacked around by God, who's in control of all things, we're lost, man. And when we're in that place and we don't understand that we are prone to sin. And if you don't know this about yourself, that you're not conditioned, travel to another country or get outside of yourself or talk to somebody who's from somewhere else or go serve the poor, you're going to discover how much of this entitlement thing that's in you, how much of this comfort thing that's in you, this whatever your version of the American dream that just expects everything to be smooth sailing. And this is why most Christians pray less against evil and more against inconvenience than anything. Lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil, not deliver us from inconvenience. So Jesus is pushing on us. And some of us are in real pain, and I'm not belittling that. I don't even know what's going on in your life. Every week, I'm shocked at what people are going through. So this is not coming from a heart that's not full of compassion for people. I know some of us are full of pain, and we've got pain in our lives. Here's what Jesus is saying. Pain is a test. Don't let it become a temptation. So we have a model. We have a structure here. Not magic words, but guiding words. Not meaningless repetition, but meaningful organization by which we can pray and connect with God. And not only do we have this model of prayer, we don't just have a structure with the words that Jesus has given us. We have a picture and the right motives when we look at the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus. We look at his life. We know Jesus lived perfectly before the Father. He didn't sin. He didn't give in to temptation. He made the Father his most hallowed thing. He said, not my will, but your will be done. He prayed for his needs. He lived this out, guys. And even in his death, where he literally ceased to be able to speak to the Father so that we could. And then in his resurrection and ascension, 2 verses in the Bible. You only need one. We get 2. Romans 7:25. And in the book of Hebrews, it says that Jesus stands or sits before God the Father and he makes intercession for us. So Jesus is praying for us right now. Hebrews 7:25, Romans 8:34. Right now, he's praying for you and he's praying for me. And he's praying that we will not use God as a means to our end of the American dream, that we would actually meet God. And here's the thing. I don't care what your need is. Your biggest need is not your need. Your biggest need is him. Not belittling your needs, but if you get your needs met without him, it's a sugar high. It's not going to last. Your biggest need is him. And so we have a Father who has the desire for us to talk to him. We have the Son who's given us the words, and we have the Spirit who dwells in us and gives us the power so that we can pray.